Welcome to King County's Justice Files. I'm Kimberly Hill. Join us as we take a look at one of the busiest systems in all of our region, King County's Superior Court. Nearly 2 million people live in King County. It is the largest county in the state and the 12th largest judicial district in the United States. Roughly 75,000 cases are filed here in Superior Court every year. It takes an amazingly complex system of prosecutors, public defenders, and judges to work through the caseload. But how much do you know about the Superior Court system? How does it work? In King County, there are 51 elected Superior Court judges and 12 appointed commissioners. These are the people who make sometimes life and death decisions every day, decisions that impact all of us.
You have to care about the job that you're doing, but you can't be overly emotional.
It's a lot to get your hands around, and so every day is new.
You're probably handling over 50, 60 cases in a morning.
It involves patience, it involves compassion.
Courts have a tremendous impact on how people learn how to better navigate the world.
Everybody in this system tries to assure that people are getting a fair shake.
King County Superior Court was created in 1889 by Article 4 in the state constitution. While district and municipal courts hear minor infractions like traffic violations and misdemeanors, Superior Court is the court of general jurisdiction.
We can hear everything from small civil disputes all the way up to large asbestos cases, mass torts, employment discrimination. We also hear every kind of criminal case, and we touch everybody's lives throughout the county in one way or another.
Judge Michael Trickey is the presiding judge of King County Superior Court. In this role, he is the CEO, policy setter, and public face of the court.
Isn't that interesting how that works?
He delegates to 5 chief judges who head up the different divisions within the court. Their main job, to keep everything moving. Judge Trickey says they all bring a wealth of experience.
I think the average age of a Superior Court judge becoming a judge in this state is 47. So most of them have had 10, 15 years of legal experience before they become a judge.
You said presumed. I'm just wondering.
Ron Kessler is the county's chief criminal judge. His courtroom is tucked away in the corner of the downtown courthouse. Just steps away, the entrance to the skywalk connecting to the jail. It's a busy portal.
Was this matter set for trial originally?
Judge Kessler arraigns more than 400 people each month.
Monday at 8:30. And
He sees almost everyone charged with a felony in the central and northern parts of the county.
State of Washington versus Brandon.
It's his job to sift through probable cause pleadings to determine if there's enough evidence to detain. He also sets bail for the defendants.
Pleas of not guilty are entered.
Originally from Philadelphia, he has served for more than 30 years as a judge and public defender in King County. He deals with a constant stream of prosecutors, public defenders, and defendants.
It's moving a lot of people, hurting a lot of cats. I am the gatekeeper because the other parts of my job is assigning the cases out to trial courts when they're ready for trial.
Often a difficult task. Not only must he find available judges and courtrooms, he must also navigate through the gridlocked schedules of attorneys, interpreters, and court staff to find a matched set.
Yeah, I think you better get him up here because I'm tough in terms of keeping things moving, but at the same time, I think I have a good feel for what is fair and just, what process is due to people. For any time Mr. Payne has served.
Still, Judge Kessler admits that being a judge is more art than science, and decisions are tough.
Pretty sad. Crime victims will sometimes say, yeah, give him the maximum penalty. Lock him up forever. He's done terrible things to me. And in fact, most victims think the person, including car theft victims, think that terrible things have been done. Then the defendant's family's there, and the defendant's family comes in and says, look, he's a good guy. He made a mistake. Give him a break. Give him a chance. And, I mean, there's compassion in both directions here. And I have to make the decision right there.
That should be fine. Yeah, that should work. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a county this big that works as well despite everything that conspires against it.
Judge Jeffrey Ramsdale is Judge Kessler's counterpart for the south side of the county.
Bail status on the other
He's
matter,
the Chief
I
Judge
dealt
for
with
the
that in
Regional
second
Justice
degree.
Center in Kent.
Council bail is currently set at $35,000.
Anyone charged with a felony south of I-90 usually comes here. The RJC carries 1/3 of the county's overall caseload. Ramsdale is chief scheduler, choreographer, and conductor of many moving pieces.
Thank you. The job actually is easiest when you're on the bench and you're actually doing the trial. It's getting all the pieces together in one place and moving along that can be the biggest headache. Good morning.
There are 15 Superior Court judges assigned to the RJC. Judge Ramsdale makes sure all are busy.
We should be focusing on this portion of You don't have the luxury of being able to say, I'll take it under advisement and get back to you in a week. I mean, you have to make decisions now. So you have to do a lot on gut instinct, and the gut instinct gets honed over time. And you'd be in the same position you are right now.
Originally from New Jersey, Ramsdale served as a staff attorney for the Washington State Court of Appeals before being elected to the Superior Court in 1996.
I try to look at each one of these individuals as individuals and try to figure out how did they get in this position in the first place. Is it drugs? Is it alcohol? Is it mental health issues? If it's something I can identify, then maybe I can hook them up with the kinds of services that are going to do more to ensure public safety than the simple posting of a bond amount.
Please rise.
Thank you. Please be
The
seated.
county's civil division is just as busy as the criminal side.
Good afternoon. This is the supplemental proceedings.
Dean Lum is Chief Judge of the Superior Court Civil Division.
Counsel, thank you very much.
There are more than 40,000 civil cases filed with this court each year.
Is that correct? Yes.
More than half are settled before going to trial. But it's difficult to determine which cases will settle and when.
This order is consistent with
And
the
it takes a
earlier
lot
order
of judicial resources.
So we have a huge civil caseload that is being filed, that we have to deal with, that we have to resolve cases, and that is a significant challenge.
Your counsel will recall your case in about 2 or 3 minutes. All right. Okay.
Judge Lum has served as a deputy prosecutor and specialized in complex civil litigation in private practice.
Okay.
He was
And,
first
is
appointed
that
to the
person
bench
here?
by Governor Locke in 1998.
That you will tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Okay.
Judge Lum assigns cases to the 10 civil court judges in the Seattle
show me your
courthouse
declaration
and
of
4
service
judges
of
in the RJC in Kent.
Okay. Bail set in the amount of $1,000. Counsel
Many of
bench
these
warrant
cases
shall
are
issue
tried
if he
before
has
the
received
judge
notice.
and
Indeed,
resolved by a summary judgment
definitely,
written
you've
by the
received notice
judge
here.
with
I'll
no
issue the
jury
bench warrant. Counsel, have you
involvement.
prepared an order?
All the judges I know have homework most of the nights. I remember somebody said, well, you civil judges don't work that hard because, you know, you often don't have jurors in, in your courtroom. Well, okay, you want to read my stack of paper that I was up till 2:30 last night reading.
Sir, could you come forward, please?
To manage the caseload, Lum uses a number of databases and computer management tools.
sorry,
He also tries
what's
to
your
make
name?
sure
What are your
attorneys
names?
keep their cases moving.
You don't just have a
And counsel, what's your
small
name?
group or one office representing one side.
the-
You have the entire
examining
civil
both?
bar coming
Could each
in,
of you
and
raise
so
your
you
right
see a
hand?
lot
Do you swear or affirm that you will
more
tell the
people
truth, the
from
whole truth, and nothing
different
but the truth?
offices
Sir?
coming through, both on the plaintiff's side and the defense side.
Come forward, please.
Besides a parade of attorneys, Judge Lum shares his downtown courtroom with an old painting of Abraham Lincoln. Lum says the antique painting assigned to the courtroom helps him to focus on his goals.
His ability to listen with an open mind, the ability to be fair, the ability at times to deal with a huge amount of paper.
And speaking of paper, welcome to the County Clerk's Office, home of the mountain of paper generated by the Superior Court. Literally thousands of documents are filed here every day.
A fine-tuned running machine here in the clerk's office. We get about 8,000 documents filed a day, and our job is to make sure they get into the appropriate case files.
Hundreds of people come to the clerk's office every day to search through these files. It is truly the gateway to the courts.
People come through us to get to the court. You come here to file your case. You come here after your case to file your documents. We're kind of almost like the circle around the court where you have to make it through the clerk's office to get to the court.
It makes for quite a collection of files. So many, in fact, a few years ago, the 6th floor of the courthouse actually started to sag.
We used to have files that went all the way down the whole side of the courthouse and around the corner and down toward the law library. This is all that we have that's left.
In 2000, technology started shrinking things down. The clerk initiated a pioneering electronic court records program. Hard copies are scanned into electronic files. Now judges, prosecutors, and other internal partners can view the files remotely.
It's just really turned around our whole line of work and made us more efficient, more effective.
The next phase of the electronic filing project, public online access to many of the clerk's court records. There is another collection under the county clerk's watchful eye, but it's not open to the public, and it's not on this floor. It's down here in the basement, in the exhibit room. What exactly is inside?
Mostly paper. The exhibits that are entered into court will be big poster boards that people use to see, to show things to juries. There's odd things down there sometimes, a sink, you know, a front end of a car, a door, clothes that are part of a crime scene. We have a vault where we keep all the drugs that are involved in, that are entered as exhibits in criminal controlled substance cases. And in that same vault we keep firearms that are part of criminal cases there.
When a case is over, many of the exhibits are usually returned or destroyed.
Court is again in session.
There's a lot of extras that make the high school experience normal.
Glenna Hall is the chief judge of the Unified Family Court.
I wouldn't want these parents not to pay for them.
In many ways, it's the court that touches more average citizen lives than any other.
Family cases with children, and that includes paternity cases, divorces, custody battles of all sorts.
Under the Unified program, family cases are not parceled out through the regular civil rotation. Instead, the goal is one family, one judicial team, a team that may include social workers, counselors, or parenting experts. The emphasis is on what's best for the children.
The mother's proposal has placed the older child as a dependent just for college and to have
parenting plans mandatory when there are minor children. Parenting seminar is mandatory in King County system. The law is that it's something.
Judge Hall says in divorce cases, it's no longer just a matter of who gets custody.
I'll give it back to you. We talk about residential time, we talk about responsibility for decisions, we talk about how you make decisions, we talk about what you do when this decision-making bogs down. So all of that has to be examined in a parenting plan. Let's do it.
There are now 7 unified family judges in King County. They all hear cases that can be heart-wrenching. Judge Hall recounts one in which she had to sever parental rights because of substance abuse.
Everybody cried. Everybody sat in the courtroom and cried. The prosecutor cried. The attorney general cried. I cried. The staff cried. I mean, it was a very moving and terrible moment. I'm going to rule on the motion for reconsideration.
Still, Hall says the unified system is a model for other family courts.
Changing the world one family at a time, and that's what Unified Family Court's doing. That's what judges who work with families are doing.
How old are you? 15. And this is a Rob 2. You're grounded. Knowing that families are critical and their survival is critical really helps me work at being creative in how you help them do that. Ms. Walton? They don't have to be like me. Their family structure doesn't have to be like mine. It just has to help produce healthy children. That's right, and I will be very cranky.
Patricia Clark is the chief judge of King County's Juvenile Court at the Youth Services Center in Seattle.
I'll issue a warrant.
Today, she's presiding over a calendar of relatively quick matters.
Hi. How are you? One condition will be added. You're 15. Curfews at 8 o'clock during the week and 9 o'clock on the weekends. After a certain hour, all that's out there on those streets for children is trouble. They're not supervised. Nothing positive is happening. If your parents say your curfew's at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, however, what time do you need to be home? Very good. They're children. That concludes this matter. If you leave them alone together long enough, they will find something that's going to get them into difficulty. So yes, I set curfews. And it gives kids structure. There'll be no further probable cause violations. Do you know what that means? don't get into any more trouble.
Judge Clark
Okay.
also presides over
right.
the county's Juvenile Drug Court, a therapeutic court designed to turn kids away from drugs and alcohol with treatment instead of jail time.
That is exactly why I'm making the referral to Team Child. It seems
Clark
to me
says she
that
acts
this
as a
is
boundary
setup.
that holds kids
So-
accountable.
Okay? I love it.
You
I
think you're good
also
at it?
love being the one who compliments them for their successes. Because that's the other side of being the pushback. You also have to be there to say what a great job you're doing and how proud I am of you for every step you've made towards success. And you'll abide by the conditions already set out by Judge Johnson?
Clark has two grown children of her own.
No contact with the owners of that.
She didn't attend law school until later in life. She says the experience has helped her in her job as a judge.
I'm not only the oldest of 7, I have a social work degree, and I have a degree in public administration. I mean, this is what I do. And kids and families are very important to me, very important to me.
Of course, the judges have a lot of help in their endeavor. Roughly 650 people work for the court, and they play a critical role. Bailiffs, court clerks, court reporters, social workers, all dedicated to the public good.
When push comes to shove, I think everybody's got a common interest, and that common interest is to deal with these cases, deal with them correctly, do the best job you can with the resources you have, and it works. It amazingly works.
That's our show for today. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kimberly Hill. If you'd like to check out our schedule at King County Television, you can go to our website at www.metrokc.gov.